Alright folks, how are we? I am Shipwreck Sean, and this is episode 3 of my Following Seas series. This is actually my third attempt at recording this. I had some issues recording last week. I'm using the beta testing version of the game, and I was experiencing some pretty game breaking bugs where the water would just completely swallow the boat up and sink me. I have since come away from the beta testing version, and now I'm just running the base game, which if you guys are purchasing the game, that is what you will have, and hopefully we don't have any issues. The other issue I was having is that for some reason I couldn't save on the beta testing version anymore, and I've tested that already and we're good. But just for a bit of fun, I'll make a wee quick edit now so you can have a wee peek at what I was experiencing. So for that, I want to pop the yards on the other side. What on earth just happened there? Okay, maybe still one or two bugs in the game. I don't know what that was. Please tie. Right, let's get you round a bit more. Right, that's a bit better. Right, back to bilge duty. Perhaps we've just got maybe we've hit the complete cargo limit in terms of weight on board, and this is the game's way of punishing me. Well, we've sunk. I can see the watcher and I can see the bells. I'm too scared to use the map for triangulation. Oh, and here's the issue I was having. I'm not sure if this episode's going to happen. So there you have it, folks. So as you can tell, I couldn't really make much progress. It happened to me twice, sort of halfway between here and Bathis Island. So I just gave up for about a week, and this is all going to go well, isn't it? We're staying confident. So here we are on what I believe to be the Shipwreck. I actually don't know much about Shipwreck ships. I believe they all have triangular sails. I don't know if they have to have 3 masts, but at least the ones I could find on Google have 3 masts. And this forward mast is raked forward as well. So I don't know if that's strictly a characteristic of Shipwrecks or not, but I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. Now, as this is my third attempt, I can speculate and tell you that there's going to be nothing when I open this door, but when I step just a bit closer, boom, we have the interior sliding around. I've tripped over these chairs multiple times, but I would very much like a ship like this at some point later on. I like the idea of having a proper bit of captain's quarters. I was pretty keen to see if anyone was on board, or at least find any sort of diaries or anything that would kind of hint towards more of the story. But as far as I can tell, there's nothing on board. The lore did say that the bells show remnants of a battle, so it could just be that this ship is just completely abandoned, everyone's left, and there's nobody on board. I do like this double helm. Often you'd need 4 people to operate that. And then the other thing I was curious about was this sort of crane setup. I'm like, the ship is listed pretty badly. I mean, I don't know if she's a wreck or not, but I wondered if perhaps, is this something they did historically? Like, did they fill like a huge barrel with water just to keep her listed to one side? I'm not sure. Maybe some history buffs can... Oh, I'm stuck. Maybe some history buffs can let me know in the comments. But we're going to see if there's any extra contracts that we can take along to Bathis Isle, or indeed if there's anything we can take to one of the other islands, just because I want to start making some nice profit. If I remember correctly, the contract we've got, we're going to get sailcloth as a reward, or canvas I believe it was. So let's have a wee peek and see if there's anything here to go for. Fishhook Mine, I believe, is very, very far away. So I maybe don't want to play around with that just yet. That's another Fishhook Mine. There's one to Bathis Isle. It's 8.64 tonnes and there's 16 crates. It's a tidy profit, but I don't feel like we're going to be able to take all that in a oneer. We've got a quantity of 6 crates at 3.24 tonnes, which is 720 tiers upon completion, which is actually very tempting because it's just a wee one. We've got Waypoint Isle, 840 tiers. Well, probably better taking the Bathis Isle one. There's a much larger quantity for Waypoint Isle, so we won't bother with that. Fishhook Mine, and there's a larger one to Bathis Isle, 1800 tiers upon completion. Now I was tempted to, because you don't have to do the missions in a oneer. You can take some on board and then go back and forward and maybe make a bit of a profit there. So I'm tempted to do that. However, I think for the first few episodes, instead of going back and forward, I'd rather discover a new island kind of after each sail. So with that in mind, it's probably not the best in terms of profits, but we're going to just accept this wee one. And I think that'll be quite fun. As I say, it'll keep us going. But now the moment of truth. But since this is my third attempt at making an intro, I'm going to make a quick edit so that I'll be on the boat next time I'm with yous, and that way I've got this put in the bank, saved and done and ready to go. I have scaled this looking for a diary, couldn't find anything, and I have searched all these shipwrecks as well. Shipwreck, Sean. But unfortunately nothing to be found. So unless I'm missing something, perhaps you guys can let me know. We will just head on board. Alright, so here we are on board. Let's go to the cargo manifest. So we have 2 tasks, so R for the second task. And now we're going to just place. I'm going to try and keep everything as centered as possible. How many crates was it? Was it 5? Let's go 2 here. I'd still like to be able to run around just in case we have any leaks. It would be good to get access. And then we've got 1 left. Can we centralise that at all, or are we going to have to put that somewhere? We can get away with it here. Oh no, I don't know if we can. We'll just shove it there. Surely 1 crate is not going to make too much of a difference. That could potentially be famous last words. And I think it's definitely worth just double checking the map to make sure we know exactly where we're going. Right, so here we are at the Bells. I'm going to zoom right out. And we're heading up to Bathis Island, which is maybe a tad north of northeast. And I'm going to presume that this area is the port. That looks like a pier in there. So that's going to be quite entertaining to get in and out of. But we've got a little bit of a plan. I still haven't quite mastered the map. As you can see, I've left a bit of a mess here. But that's okay. I'm presuming as we get closer to Bathis Island, we will see it. Just double checking there's no leaks that I'm missing again. Looks all good to me. So we'll get this lantern off to save on oil. We'll head up on board and we'll think about getting ourselves out. So, wind direction. It is behind us. I don't know if that'll change when we pull out. But what I'm going to do is kedge us out, first of all, in this direction. And just like that. That seems to have done a good bit of work actually. How are we looking? Okay, maybe a bit too close for comfort, but that's alright. Let's see if I can remember how to work these sails. So if the wind is going across to port, then it looks like our yards are on the right side. So let's just drop it and hope for the best. Maybe not the best advice. There we go, that looks good to me. Oh, where has the... Is this... Yes, okay, nice. So I'm going to add tension to that. Pop you here. And we should be moving forward. Do we need some more tension? Yeah, quite a bit more. Just going to keep reeling that in. I wonder if the oscillation issue is still there. Let's have a wee peek. So that's it pulled right in. Nope, that seems to have been fixed. We are moving forward. Right, are we going to have the same luck with the mizzen? Boom appears to be, sorry, yard appears to be on the correct side. So we'll drop the sail to 100%. Hope that the wind doesn't change drastically on us whilst we're setting up. Right, here we have the tack, so we want all the tension out of that. And now we need to find the clue. Here we go. Excellent. This third attempt is going way better than attempt 1 and 2 in terms of my sailing abilities. Because that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, I could probably do a bit better, but for now I'm just going to allow us to keep going like that. First of all, let's have a look at what direction we're going in. So we're actually going just south of northeast, and we want to be going just north of northeast. If we turn just north of northeast, we're going to have a lot more of a beam reach. So let's get ourselves turning. I believe there's been a button pushed. Oh, W, nice. So W will recenter the rudder when we're done steering, which is a great little feature. Right, I believe that's the direction we want to go in, so W. And that's pulled it right back to centre. Lovely jubbly. Cool, now we just need to get there. There's not really... I'm going to go up forward to see if I can spot the island. Where is my spyglass? There we go. So I'm looking sort of northeast, and I'm not really seeing anything just yet. It could be to do with cloud coverage and all the rest of it. But I'm pretty chuffed, folks. We are moving. Yes, sails are good for a beam reach. I could maybe let them out just a wee bit more. But as we're moving forward with a decent bit of speed, I don't really want to mess about with that. But for now, I'm going to say cheerio to the bells. And hopefully we get to Bathis Isle. Another thing I'd appreciate in the comments is it Bathis Isle or Bathis Isle? Those of you joining my channel just for following seas might be unaware of this, or maybe you're aware already, but I'm not fantastic at pronouncing things properly. It usually takes me a good few episodes for things to settle in. But if I'm blabbing an extra amount right now, it's because I'm excited. I think the game is fixed. I'm not going to lie, folks, I've been missing it. Because we were off to a very good start. Yeah, we can't even see the watcher, so it's definitely sort of the coverage. Cool, so maybe that little bit of sun glare will help, but it looks like we will struggle to see just for a wee minute. But I'm quite happy. One thing worth doing. I'm not hearing any water coming out there. That's good. Very happy with that. And you've just got to keep a constant eye on the wind markers and telltales, because when the wind does change in this game, it seems to change pretty quickly, fairly drastically. But nice. Okay, a little bit of oscillation there. Just let out a wee bit, see if that does anything, or we just won't look at it. I feel like we can let out a bit of sail now, right? Let's let out the clues just a wee touch. We'll just do it in increments. We'll go 1 on each. Oh, what's happening there? I've got PTSD from that bug, folks. Oh! Not sure what happened there. The sails had a little bit of a jump around. I'm just pensively pacing the deck, hoping that we don't get flooded. I really thought I would have started to see the island by now. Oh, that's nice. Oh, sorry folks, I'm struggling a wee bit with the mouse movement. But I'm trying to get myself some nice thumbnails, you know. It's got to be done. I would do this not on camera, but I don't know if I'll be doing this sail again anytime soon. And I don't really want to be messing about with saves. So yeah, I don't want to come across as if I'm criticising the game. When I first actually reported the issues I was having, I had forgotten that I was on the beta testing version. So I'm really hoping it's to do with that. And now that we're on the base game, we won't have the same issues. But I'm certainly not glazing, certainly not paid to say this, but as soon as I pointed out the issues I was having on the Discord, the dev responded to me like within a couple of hours and asked for my save file. So, you know, that's why we support early access games. Yeah, there's some teething issues. We certainly expect things like that, but I've never experienced a game where the dev is so active to the point where I feel like it could use some time off, but hey ho, the game seems quite popular, and it's popular for a reason. I'm not going to feel comfortable until I can actually see land somewhere. Right, I'm going to say it out loud, folks, just to help me remember. 5 for the compass. We have drifted north a touch, so we will deal with that. I don't think I'm well balanced, but we'll just turn ourselves. Maybe northeast wouldn't be too much of an issue, considering we might, depending on the wind, we'll need to decide if we want to go south of the island or north of the island. But right, that's us heading straight. We're just going to keep our eyes on this view and see if she's turning on her own. I usually can find out when I watch back on my videos whether it's user error or something to do with how the sails... Oh, that was spooky. I was just about to mention how the sails flap around randomly at times. But we seem to be okay. There's maybe a slight drift to starboard, but I'm happy with that. We'll just make a point of checking regularly. Every time I remember, I'm going to hit that bilge pump. We have lost the bells behind us, and I think I'm going to do some fishing. Right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. So E to lower. I feel like the UI is a lot better now, or slightly less confusing. And if it hasn't changed at all, it's probably just because I'm getting more used to it. Right, we have a catch. So now I'm going to reel up with R. Again, I don't know if you can lose the fish in this game, or if it's just as simple as E and R until you haul a fish up. But I did receive a comment. I apologise. I usually take notes of who leaves comments, but I was too busy trying to get this game working. Oh, I think we lost the fish. Yeah, okay, so you can lose the fish. But someone did say, look, just keep fishing and fishing, because it's going to be good for profit in the end. Right, I'm just going to ease up. There we go. An imperial linefish. We're just going to add that to provisions. There doesn't... When you're adding to provisions, I'm not sure, like, does it add to provisions that you can sell? Does it add to provisions that you eat? Or is it all the same thing? I'm still getting used to this game. But it does seem like, I feel like I'm getting to that point where I was last time. It does seem like we're going to be cooking with gas this time, folks. So a hip hip hooray. Come on, you. And I wonder if the fish are different depending on sort of what island you're close to. So I'll be keeping a mental note of that. Oh, this fish seems to be putting up a bit of a fight. We'll do 2 for now. And then I will check on our bearings. And our bilge pump. And our hull. We've got another smiling white fish. Nice. They seem to be the most popular ones that I've found. Stop fishing. Oh, would you look at that, folks? See, fishing's good for killing time. Nice. Jumping for joy, folks. Right. There's no water coming out. Let's go down below and check, see if we've got any hull damage. That looked like a little drip of water, but probably because we've got the hatch open. So having one crate on the port side hasn't caused us any issues at all. Provision wise, we are running out of timber, although I don't know. I did say I was going to take a mental note. In fact, I'm sure I took a photo on my phone as well. But folks, when it's been a week, everything gets deleted out my brain. I'm not one of these super smart, super intelligent YouTubers, I'm afraid. I need you guys to help me along the way. It's an interactive YouTube channel. But this so far, oh sorry folks, this so far has proven to be a pretty decent sail. I don't think it's really going to make a difference if we go north or south. We could turn it a bit of a close haul and just get closer to the island, but I feel like just going round to the western part of the island and then turning in through north will at least give us a wee bit more to look at. And also I'm quite happy with how she's trundling along, so I don't really want to mess with that. The other thing I wondered is, when I had the leak in the hull, I was wondering, is that due to how extremely close to the pier I was at the Watcher? Because I'm not sure if I recorded it, but at least before I press record I could hear the hull scraping along the pier, and I'm wondering if that's what's caused the damage. So if any of you folks watching have experienced similar, please do let me know. It sounds like I'm begging for comments, and that's because I very much am. When I say I need help, there's a lot of truth to that. But this is a pretty good sail so far. We haven't really had to adjust at all. I'm sure we could probably be set up better. But, you know, if it's working fine, you know, what's the phrase? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I'm sure I'll start making some micro adjustments and start to F everything up. Right, can we see any features? It's too foggy. But we are here early morning. I'm sure it was early morning in the sail over, or was it late at night? I can't remember now. It was 10 o'clock either AM or PM, where we had the ominous sound to tell us how much provisions we'd went through. So I'm kind of expecting something like that soon. There we go, a little flick of the canvas again. And I would like to head below actually and remind myself what our rewards are. So cargo manifest. Loaded, available, delivered. So does it not say? Loaded. No, it doesn't really say what our rewards are going to be. So we just need to remember. As I say, for the first one was canvas, the second one was some tiers, which is the currency in this game. So we'll see if we can sell off the canvas anywhere as well, because I'm sure that will just go straight into the provisions when we complete the contract. But we'll find out, because I've never completed the contract before. Bad YouTuber here, but I have purposely avoided watching anybody else because I don't want spoilers. I very much want to experience everything authentically. Which probably doesn't help the whole fact that, as I say, I need a hand, but it's all about excitement here. I'm just pulling in to get a wee bit closer to land, and then press W to straighten up. I love that. It's always the wee things, folks. I think I'm going to prepare for close haul sailing. Wait. Folks, I know I've been having trouble with my keyboard and mouse sounds getting picked up. I am very apologetic about that. My setup is not ideal at this moment in time. I am saving up for a better microphone. I'm currently using a Blue Yeti, and it's kind of hard to get a decent mic stand for it. So that'll be happening very soon. However, this time of year is kind of not the right time to be buying microphones. So I'll get everyone's Christmas prezzies sorted first, and then we'll have a wee peek. And we've got some features loading. Okay, so there's some scraggly trees. Not much foliage on the trees. That looks like there might be something at the top of the highest peak, but I'm not sure. I would like to go back down and read the lore. I think I've got time to do that actually. Let's go and get a quick... Oh, that was nearly £1 in the jar. A quick look at the lore, just to get us enthused. So, near the ashlands, bleached bones of old forests coat the ashy hills. So that tells us it all. That's why there's no trees, no leaves on the trees. Axes and saws can be heard. Provides wooden goods, accepts food and drink. So perhaps we want to jump up and do a wee bit more fishing, just to see if we can't squeeze a bit more profit. We are heading directly towards a bit of land there, so we're going to turn ever so slightly to port, because I don't want to crash into anything whilst I'm fishing. I feel like that's counterproductive to the whole profit thing. And let's get another fish in. Get your bets on, what's it going to be? This sail has been a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So in this episode I'll do some exploring on the island. I won't leave you with any naughty cliffhangers. Assuming I get to port without any issues. But I have committed now. Right, up we get. I'm actually quite addicted to this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'll try to think of some anecdotes to tell whilst I am fishing. Oh, what we got? A frogfish. Discovered Bathis Isle. That was the ominous noise as well. I've not seen a frogfish before. Let's get you chucked into provisions. And now it's time to navigate round the island. Yeah, there is something at the top there. I don't know if it's like a statue or anything like that. Can we make anything else out? There's another one lower down. Are they lighthouses? We'll find out. How's the wind? We are still at our beam reach. So we'll get round this little feature here, and we'll think about turning into a close haul. What's that? There's some smoke that looks like a rooftop that the smoke is coming out of. So that's obviously port. There's some stuff going on over there. Let's get ourselves turned round to a close halt. How are we looking? I'm trying not to rely on the telltale, because that was an error I was making. The other sailing games that I play, there's no wind markers, at least without mods. So I've just become totally used to completely relying on the telltales. But these guys are surely going to be a lot more accurate. Oh, has the wind changed? Nope, wind's still very much the same. So the comment I made at the start about the wind changing pretty drastically, I wonder if that was a beta testing thing. So the past 2 episodes, if you guys have watched them, as I say, has been the beta testing version. And now we have the official version, and I think that's going to be the solution to all my problems. I suppose in hindsight it wasn't really a wise move to use a beta testing version for recording. But I like the idea of being first, you know, to experience a wee bit of new features. It's all about being exclusive, isn't it, folks? As I say, I was lucky enough to receive a beta code to the game before its full release, which in my YouTube tenure I have never experienced before in my life, so I was pretty giddy to receive something like that. I'm like, am I a real YouTuber? Surely not. As I say, all very professional here at Shipwreck, Sean, as you can all tell. Pump. We've taken on no water in this sail. I felt like I was pumping constantly in the last one. In the game Sail the Seas that I play, shameless plug, go and look at my videos on Sail the Seas, but in that game you are consistently pumping the bilge pump. It might be my sailing though, and in fact it's definitely my sailing. But at this point we're just keeping our eyes peeled to see when we can turn in. We're going pretty slowly because we're close hauling. So you know what that means, folks? We're going to get in one more fish. Keep an eye over to this direction so we don't miss anything. No immediate catches this time. There we go. The fish heard me. Up you come. I've got nerves about reaching this island actually. I think just when I sat down to record today I didn't know how it was going to go. So for lack of a better term, folks, I am buzzing, I'm nervous. And fishing is calming me down. Another frogfish. A gaping-mouthed, sturdy fish that makes its home in rocky, cold waters. Once common, they have grown uncommon as the waters warmed. Catching one of these colourful fish is considered a good omen by the Kalian people. Well, we've got two. Two good omens right there. Right. Stop yapping. Let's see if I can find port. Is that a mast I'm seeing? With a telltale at the top? Can we close? No. We just need to keep ticking on by until we're in a position to close haul. I'm really, really intrigued at what this is over here. I've just glanced over at my phone. According to my phone, I should be about 30 minutes into the episode, so we have plenty of time for exploring. Which is nice. I feel like this is the bay in here that we need to be going into. I would do some triangulation if I could work the map. The sails jumping do give me a fright every now and then. Ah, there we go, there's that oscillation. We must be getting close. We could probably get away with it, but I'll just give it another couple of meters. I'll go and get myself ready. I think all the sails are where I want them to be. I might even pop you here. We're going to put the yards on the opposite side. Like so. and we're going to commence our turn. Starboard ho. I've gone silent, folks. Right, we are tacking. We are in irons. Is she going to make it? Yeah. Oh yeah. Easy peasy. And then some. Cool. Straighten up that helm. Or that, I would call it a tiller, but actually, I think this is the tiller. So does that make, is this a whip staff? Something like that? Hold on, actually. I believe, is it in log? World Events Glossary. Here we go. A whip staff. A lever used to precisely control a ship's tiller, predecessor to the more complex ship's wheel. So yes, a whip staff. Sometimes I can't remember my own birthday, but I can remember the name whip staff. Right, I'm going to just haul in the mizzen, because we don't need full speed anymore, and we don't really need balance. The wind seems low enough that we can probably try and berth at the pier, but there is a strong chance I'll anchor off and row in. I don't know how close you need to be to the contract desk in order to deliver cargo, so suppose we will find out. Just going to adjust the port a wee touch. For those of you that have been to this island before and are potentially watching me go the wrong way, I apologise. It just feels right. She will turn slightly to starboard with her being unbalanced, but that's alright. Right, can we make anything else out now? What button was the clock? Alright, so is that 7 in the morning? Where's the sun? Yep, 7 in the morning. Are we still moving forward? Yes, we are. I think at a bit of a snail's pace though. Yeah, that looks like forward momentum to me. So this is just an exercise of patience, folks. Let's fire ourselves back up to our poop deck. Another little turn to port. And because of nerves and impatience... Oh, is that... It's quite a close haul, but I think we're good. Yeah. I'm absolutely chuffed, folks. The game is fixed. And of course, out of nerves, anticipation, and lack of patience, we're going to get a fish. Hopefully it's another frogfish for another good omen. We've got a catch. Welcome to Shipwreck Sean's fishing simulator. Getting good at this. It does feel like the boat has completely come to a stop. If anything, we're really not going fast at all. What we got here? Come on, give me a good omen. An imperial linefish. Okay, I don't think I read. A common bottom-dwelling fish, prized for its commonly large size and excellent meat. Noise. It is said to have gained its name for its supposed resemblance to the last imperial line, who were known for their close family ties. I'm getting more lore from the fish than I am the locations. Right, we're getting close. I can't see the pier yet. Is that another... So, that, yeah, is another shipwreck. Sean. Nice, okay, so... We're definitely in a sort of... It feels very post-apocalyptic, this game world. You know, it all feels very what once was. I'm going to make a quick edit here, folks, because I am about to wet my pants. Thank you for your patience and understanding, folks. We've already got enough water, so I had to head to the heads to keep it all very nautical. Right, let's turn to starboard, try and get a wee bit more speed, because we are just crawling forward. I feel like I can see a pier. Let's head up forward, see if I can spot it from our bowsprit, or sorry, our bow. We have no bowsprit. That, see where the cursor is, just to the right, that looks like a pier to me. So I'm pretty happy. It might even be worth just kedging in, or anchoring off and rowing in, I'm not sure. I'd like to get as close as possible. What do we think that was, folks? Single mast. It looks like it might be a double ender. Or is it just another caravel? I'll probably jump over there for a wee peek. That's as much as I can zoom in with the spyglass. But interesting. Oh no, that looks like there might be a transom at the stern. But it's got a different capstan from what I've got, so I don't think it's the same vessel as we're on right now. But anyway, showtime. Oh. Is that like a figure? I thought that was like a head, arms, or it looks like maybe a chalice or something on top. We've got some smoke, we've got some things spinning round over there. That looks like the office there. And then up there, that was the sort of plinth that we spotted from afar. But it's now or never, folks, to get ourselves berthed up. It does look like we're going to just be able to head directly to the pier without too much trouble. Although it's usually easier said than done. Let's get a better turn than that. Cool, centralise. And she's going slow enough that I'm quite happy just to let her do her thing. But yes, so the Ashlands, I'd like to know more about the Ashlands. What caused the Ashlands? Was it the war? These Kalian people, who are they? I remember at the very start, in the first episode with the diary I was reading, Captain, oh what was his name again? Captain something. Seemed to be growing his leg back, and he had some otherworldly strength, I believe was the term, that he had to hide from the excuse me, he had to hide from the crew. So I'm hoping to get a wee bit more, at least from this island. I'm desperate for some lore. As I say, I believe is it Waypoint Isle? That is the largest one, or at least it has the largest settlement on the island. We are cutting it a bit fine there. So yeah, with it being the largest settlement, largest island, largest settlement on an island in the archipelago, that should have some lore to it as well. But we won't get ahead of ourselves. We've got some exploring to do. Right, I think I can get the main in now. Like so. And let's see, I might have killed her forward momentum there. I mean, if she's turning, that's usually a sign that she is headed forward. But I don't want to turn too drastically, so that our rudder doesn't completely kill what speed we have left. But yeah, this is looking good to me, folks. No, I don't sail like this all the time. How's she looking? Oh, sorry folks, the right, W to zoom in more quickly. Yeah, that's perfect. The wind is blowing us into the pier, but I think that's good enough. So we're going to grab our bow line. Where is it? It's up here. And can I jump? Oh, we've just made it. And let's anchor off. Let's anchor off let's moor as far off as we can, just to help us with leaving later on. Oh, was it down here? Yes. Very nice. And moor here. And I'm hoping that straightens her up. There we go, folks. Actually, I think you need to come down here. Would you look at that? We are at Bathis Island. Okay, right. Do we need to like take the crates first? Let's just go and head on, not on board. Let's head up to the ledger. So buy set contracts. Accepted 14 crates. So I believe I need to. Do I need to head back on board and go to the cargo manifest? Only one way to find out. Oh, and I did say I was going to check for leaks, which I didn't do. Right, cargo manifest. Hold to remove. To select and move, click and place. Okay, left click and Alt. That's just moving something. Okay, am I being an idiot? Click to place, hold to remove. Right click. Doesn't seem to be working for me. I'm surely just being an idiot here. Own goods, contracts. Okay, so like Shift R for own goods. And then contract, Shift E. Bathis Isle, click to place, hold to remove. But nothing is highlighting. Oh, what that's far from origin. I don't know what's happening. Okay, folks, I'll make a quick edit and I'll work this out off camera. Okay, folks, so we're kind of there. So I've worked out you just need to basically hover over everything whilst that mission is on your manifest. So we'll go around, basically hold right click to remove, it says. And when it's highlighted red, we can click. And this is going to get all our linseed. If indeed it's highlighted, so that must be dried fish. So we'll just run around, grab everything that is potentially linseed. Dried fish, linseed in the bottom, so we need to get that dried fish first. Linseed. Right, and then let's press E or R. And we will select all of our dried fish. This must be linseed. So we have everything. We have everything in our manifest now. So this is the trouble I was having. I'm not too sure how to actually deliver it. It seems like I'm just being an idiot. But I mean, when I get close, so basically if I carry this manifest off the ship, it just disappears here. And then I run up, press take on work, go to contracts, and nothing's appearing. So please let me know what's going on there, folks, if you guys can explain that. For now, I'm just not going to deal with it right now because I'd like to do some exploring. I've had enough of bugs and stuff to deal with. Hopefully that's not a bug and it's just me being an idiot. But let's have a wee donder. Okay, so this was not a figure. I think it's just maybe a tall lantern, or it looks like an old Sort of like Acropolis, almost. What have we got in here? Can we go inside? We cannot. Yeah, this place has been ravaged by war and destruction by the looks of it. I'm hoping to find something, as I say, some sort of diary. Oh, what have we got here? Some sort of mill. Can we get up these stairs? Not particularly. So it's definitely a mill of sorts. But the game is not giving much away at this moment in time. So I'm going to do a wee bit of hiking. See if there's anything right up there at the very top. I would hope. I mean, it's right there. It's right there. It's asking me to run up and go and look at it. I'll just speed this up, folks. Okay. So I'm struggling to work out any detail. But I think it's just another sign of the general destruction that this island has faced. At least it stretched our legs walking up here. Where is she? There's our telltale. She's still good down there. Right, folks. Well, that'll be the end for now. We will select new contracts once we can get the old ones delivered. Please do let me know in the comments what I'm doing wrong. It must be something stupid I'm doing. I'll maybe reload in the meantime to see if I can get it working. And if I do get it working, I will of course let you know by the start of the next episode. But until then, I have been Shipwreck Sean. Thank you very kindly for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Cheerio.